Alright guys, back out to the tannery, and I got a cool find. It's a little musket ball, but check it out. It's a cut musket ball. I'm going to cut that sucker in half for some reason. I've never found one like that. But I will take it. I like that. Rang up about a 15 or 16 in the old Equinox. Alright, got a mystery item here. Anybody want to take a crack at what that is? I do not know. It's tapered. This side's narrower than that side, so maybe you know. Alright, we got roundness in the hole. And I tell you what, ooh, I love this machine at times like this because target was right there, but right here under this grass is a huge chunk of iron. And I still got that squeak off the end of it and was able to determine that that wasn't falsing. I don't know what it is, but I suspect a penny. Let's see what we got. Well, what we had. You know, I don't think I have dug an Indian head this year, but at the spot that I'm at the tannery, this typically is Wheaties for some reason. I can move 100 yards and get Indians, but usually old Wheaties come from this side. Let's see what we got. You ready? Still don't know. Still don't know. Can anybody make anything out on that? I think it's a wheat scent. Alright, let me clean it up a little bit and see if I can get a date on it. Guys, moved to a different location and it snowed on me. So, I tell you what, I hate finds like this. Look at that. See a little silver rim? I mean, a little silver rim poking out, and I'm thinking half dime or trime all the way. I already know what it is, and it ain't either one of them, but it's still a cool find. Got a little 2-hole or maybe 4-hole sewing button. I can't quite, well, we'll figure that one out later, but yeah, can't complain too much about a button. All right, we are on the board with some roundness. Don't know what it is yet. Could be anything around here. It's a dark green. I think it's a weedy maybe. Definitely a weedy. And a crusty one at that. I think I see a 4 there at the end of something. I'll scrape on in a second and see if I can get a few details for you. Now y'all know how much I hate doing a live dig, but I have never seen a signal this high with the Mine Lab. Ready? And it seems fairly small. So I thought, just on the off chance I'm gonna dig a $50 or something crazy, we might do it together. But what do you think it is? You gotta guess before you see it. I don't know, I've just never even hit a piece of trash that ran up that high, so got me curious, to say the least. All right, well, I don't see anything big and silver and shiny yet. Did I miss it? I guess that's not a good sign, is it? Alright. What's that? Something down in there. That looks like a gigantic piece of copper. What would that be to, though? We shall see. There you go. Now that is why it rang up so high. That is a big piece of copper now. We're taking home. All right, boy, it just got exciting. I don't know what that is, but it's got potential to be something. Maybe a token. What do you think? Almost looks like it has a hole or something through the center of it. And I tell you what, if that's a token, it's gonna sound weird to some of you. I hope that's a tax token. I have never dug a tax token. It's got writing on it. I don't know. Ain't sure yet. All right, get this backside here. I got so much junk on my hands, I'm gonna have to turn it off, clean it up. Well, hot dog. Check it out. Luxury tax token, Louisiana. And I suspect that hole in the center of it was punched there. Yeah, that ain't come natural, did it? That is awesome. You know what this means, don't you? You're gonna learn about a tax token. I have a confession to make, and I may lose all metal detecting credibility by making it. But for a long time now, I have had a secret, perverse desire to dig a tax token. Now, if you watch some good channels like Relic Rangers or Plugmaster Ford, you're going to see them guys digging tax tokens out their ears, and it never makes them happy. Well, there's a good reason for that. And I did a little deep dive into the history of these tax tokens, and I figured out why. Well, the history of the tax token goes all the way back to the 1930s, just after the Great Depression, and a bunch of states, well, they needed money, they needed revenue bad, so they thought of an idea. Let's tax people on the sale of goods. 1%, maybe 2% sales tax, and about a dozen states pretty quickly got on board with this idea. Now, that presented a problem. Imagine this, you go to a store and you buy a $1 item and your state sales tax is 1%. What's 1% of a dollar? It's a penny, right? So you end up paying $1.01. But in 1930, do you know how many items were priced under a dollar? A dollar was a lot of money. So what happens if you buy something for 50 cents? How do you pay a 1% sales tax on 50 cents? Because that's only a half a cent. Well, about the only thing you could do is slap a penny down there, and you can't get change on a penny. So that meant you paid 2% sales tax. Well, this wasn't going to make people happy. So a problem needed to be solved. And at some point, some local state government desk jockey, some great overachiever, came up with a plan. We are going to make tokens that have a denomination of value less than a cent. The tax token I dug up is a 1 mil luxury tax token from Louisiana. 1 mil tax token was worth 1/10 of 1 cent. It was a way that people could pay their sales tax on smaller items. Well, you can imagine this didn't make a lot of people happy. Having to keep track of this, cashiers having to total this stuff up, and to make matters worse, a lot of these states, they formed lists of items that could be taxed and lists of items that were exempt. That's why my token's called a luxury tax token. So there was a list of about 70 items that weren't taxed. And it was an odd list. Stuff like bottle openers, lawnmowers, beer. Those were not taxed. Now, the cashiers and the store owners really scratch their heads because they're going, You call it a luxury tax, but a lot of the items you've exempted are luxuries, right? I mean, hey, I gotta tell you, if you don't view beer as a luxury, you got a problem, right? So, store owners hated this junk. Everybody hated it. After 2 years, Louisiana decided to start changing some things. They kind of repealed the whole luxury tax deal. After 2 more years, they said, we're done with the tokens. Everybody hates these things. Send them back. Unfortunately, Louisiana made 49 million 1 mil luxury tax tokens. They got a grand total of 7 million of them sent back. That means everybody else took the 42 million tax tokens, walked into their backyards, and threw them as far as they could throw them for us to find. And that's why we hate them too. So there you go. There's the history of the tax token. I still got to admit, I'm kind of tickled about finding mine. I bet you it's been a year since I dug a spoon. That's a good old one too. Looky there. If it has any markings on it that are interesting enough to tell a story about, we'll tell that story. If not, it's a spoon. Well, it's a surprise. Another coin. I haven't dug an Indian this year. That would be nice. Negative on the Indian, but it's a good clean weedy. Let's do this. There it is, 44. Good deal. Now that's an interesting little deal right there. I thought I had like a Rains guide, but what do you reckon that is? I bet one of you guys will know. Made out of brass. It doesn't look threaded. Looks like maybe there's a hole through it. I don't know. Let me know if you do. Washed out spot, and eyeballed 2 finds side by side. One and 2. Look at there. Keep my eyes peeled in here. I'm telling what washed up. I see some old brick and old glass, all sorts of stuff. Alright guys, I'm not going through the whole process of the old oxalic acid, but that token is definitely a candidate for cleaning. And that old button I found, just because I like a challenge. Got it mixed up. I'm going to throw them in there. I'll show you the finished product.